The War Ends With You is about Neku, the main character, expanding his world and learning to accept others into his life through a life or death game. Neku does this by spending time with multiple characters he meets in the game. Today we're going to be looking at one of them. That character is Shiki. We first meet Shiki on the first day of the Reaper's game. She makes a pact with Neku so they can defeat the Nois that are attacking them. She tries to be friendly with Neku because she knows that it is the only way to survive the game. She is constantly a positive source in her and Neku's relationship and teaches him many values in life like friendship. She is one of the main catalysts in how Neku changes throughout the story, but I want to focus on her own development and aspects of her own character. Before analyzing Shiki's character, we have to explain how the Reaper's game works. In The War Ends With You, every time someone dies, they are given a chance to participate in the Reaper's game, which is basically a second chance at life. Players must make pacts with each other and complete missions in the game within a 7-day period. Those who win the game have a chance to come back to life, choose to be erased, or play the game again. Those who lose or die again are erased, basically put into a state of non-existence. There are a few important factors about the Reaper's game. To enter the Reaper's game, someone must give up something that means a lot to them. It can be anything physical or even mental. The Reaper's game takes place in what they call the UG or the Underground. It is a parallel universe to Shibuya where the Reaper's game takes place. The Real Ground or the RG is the normal world that can be seen by the living beings but cannot see the people in the UG. So while the players in the UG are doing their missions, they can manipulate the Real Ground without the living seeing them. The only way a living person can see someone in the UG is in certain shops. It sounds complicated, but all you really need to know is that our main characters can't be seen by people in most locations and can manipulate people's thoughts. Shiki is a fashionista, which we can clearly see from her outfit and appearance. She also dwells on the current trends and brands that are popular, while ragging on Neku's outfits and it's not trendy enough. You can tell that she clearly cares about her appearance and what people think. She puts on a cheerful attitude to lend Neku some much needed support and always looks on the bright side of things, but deep down she hides a secret that led to how she looks like in the Reaper's game. Before entering the Reaper's game, she used to design clothes with her best friend Eri. Shiki cared a lot about her friend Eri and liked her a lot. Neku catches her looking at pictures of Eri on her phone, showing that she has an attachment to her. Another way Shiki attaches to Eri is with her plush Mr. Mew. It's not said that Mr. Mew is a way that Shiki remembers Eri, but Mr. Mew is Shiki's and Eri's first sewing project together. She also shows sentimental feelings toward Mr. Mew, and it's clear that she can't let go of him due to an attachment to the plush, which is most likely linked to Eri. So Shiki was attached to Eri almost too much, to the point of jealousy, which we soon find out led to how we see her in the Reaper's game. Shiki's appearance is Eri's. When Shiki entered the Reaper's game, she had to give up something that meant a lot to her, which is her entry fee. Shiki's entry fee was her appearance. Shiki's appearance was replaced with Eri's appearance. We find this out when Neku and Shiki encounter Eri in Shibuya. Shiki storms off as the secret has been revealed to Neku. Neku chases after her and Shiki tells Neku that her appearance was her entry fee. She says that when she first saw herself in the Reaper's game, she was ecstatic to look like Eri, because she hated who she was and envied Eri for her looks. Since her entry fee was the thing she valued the most, she was confused at first. She couldn't understand why the Reapers would give her what she wanted her whole life, which was to be like her friend Eri. But Shiki realized that throughout the week that she would never be Eri, because she is herself and what she valued most was herself. So her entry fee was herself. Shiki also says that she doesn't want to get a second chance at life. It means being jealous of Eri all the time and hating herself. Later on, the second time they run into Eri, Neku and Shiki are able to eavesdrop on her conversation with another friend of hers. But Shiki refuses to listen to Eri's conversation and once again runs off. Neku again chases after her. Neku confronts her while Shiki is once again dwelling on her jealousy of Eri. Neku tells her the truth of the matter. He says that you'll never be Eri, you'll only ever be you need to live your own life. Which is what Shiki really needed to hear. She was always comparing herself with Eri and seeing what Eri had and what she didn't. She wanted Eri's looks, design skills, and popularity, but Shiki was failing to look at herself and what she had. At the end of the day, Shiki is her own person and has her own strengths and weaknesses as well. She can't compare herself with Eri because she'll never be a better version of Eri. She can only ever be a better version of herself. After the conversation with Neku, Shiki just wants to stand beside Eri since she hasn't seen her since she has died. While standing next to Eri, Shiki overhears the conversation Eri is having with her other friend. Eri says that Shiki had everything she didn't have. She cared about people, was skilled at making clothes, and had motivation. The day before Shiki's accident happened that led to her death, Eri said to Shiki that she was never meant to be a designer. But then the accident happened, so Eri was never able to apologize. From this we find out that Eri also had the same struggles as Shiki. Shiki and Eri were both jealous of each other and never knew. They relied on each other for many things, and it was not until they were alone without each other it was when they realized that they will never be like one another, because they are each their own person. Shiki then is ready to overcome the Reaper's game and accept her second chance at life to be Eri's friend again after coming to terms with her insecurities and low self-esteem. The next aspect of Shiki's character is more related to the game as a whole, but I associate it with Shiki a lot. This is changing trends and making them your own. We first hear about the trends of Shibuya the 4th day. Shiki asks Neku to go into 10-4, a shopping building that has many stores. In the shopping building, Shiki and Neku run into the prince, an influencer type character that runs a blog about many things around Shibuya like fashion or food. He sets many of the trends around the city like the hottest ramen shops or the trendiest clothes. The prince really insults Neku's outfit because he can't coordinate brands or be trendy. Shiki then teaches Neku about trends. Shiki seems to be very passionate about trends and thinks it's very important to stay on top of them and follow them. She says that trends change you and the people around you. It is also linked to gameplay. Every area has a different brand that is trendy, and if Neku and Shiki were the brand that is trendy, they do more damage in battle. The next time we hear about trends is day 6. The mission is to try to get a red pin a salesperson is trying to sell to be trendy and popular. At first, Neku and Shiki try to influence him in different ways to try and give away the pin to different people around the city, but that quickly doesn't go very well because it's not making the red pin very popular. As time runs out to complete the mission, once again we encounter the prince. The prince says that simply wearing the red pins can make them trendy. Shiki tells Neku that wearing the pins in battle could change the trends in the RG. Shiki and Neku then wear these pins in battle and quickly change the trends and make the pins popular. After this mission, you are able to set which brands are popular by simply using them in battle. This is one of my favorite ways the game subtly portrays a message, in that we can set our own trends in life and not have to follow others but be a leader. Since what we learn about Shiki and what she's struggling to live with in life, we can assume that she was never really a leader, but more of a follower of her friend Eri and others like the prince. Her style of fashion most likely was influenced as well. Throughout the game, she probably realized that trends don't really matter if we are able to bend them and make them our own by expressing ourselves and being a leader in what we wear or do. Shiki as a character is one of my favorites, as she not only influences Neku to open up more to new ideas and people, but changes herself as well throughout the game to accept herself for who she is.